Hello, it's me, French Ted, and we are here for episode number 2 of our fantasy booking WWE series, and it's our first episode of Raw. Very exciting, very, very exciting. Smackdown went down pretty well, from my understanding. I think it was a pretty good show, especially in comparison to what other companies have been doing. But we are here for our first Raw main event. I've already gone ahead and done. There's a part of me that might get rid of main event down the line, but for now, I think it's good for like the lower mid card people just to get some, reps in, I guess, because there's not really a pre-show option for these shows. So yeah, main event is kind of just the people who I don't really have anything for. We'll do 1 or 2 matches on there. But before we dive into Raw, of course, we need to check out main event, but let's also see what everyone else is doing, and let's take a look at a couple more signings. So if we go to my roster, these guys have all signed now. So Ali is now with us. Her contract has gone through. The same with Ray, which I think we saw this in the last episode. But yeah, Ray Phoenix is officially with us. I'm not too sure what I'm going to do with him for now, but he's here. And then we've also got Trish is here as well. She's not featuring on tonight's Raw, but she is here. Let's jump to developmental, where I can't remember anything. So let's just go here. Signed. So yeah, Ray signed. Here we go. So yeah, so Trish accepted her offer. Ali, as we just saw, TJP. I figured why not? I brought in TJP so him and Francisco Akira can team up in NXT for now. But of course, that's a potential future tag team on the main roster. Also, if a cruiserweight division becomes a thing, TJP can come back. And then, of course, Ella Envy came in the same as she did with the Kenzie Page and Kylie Page. So yeah, I think that's all the signings, and that's all the ones I'm going to be making as well. Actually, we can see that from here. It will say pending contracts, and there aren't any pending contracts. I just want to quickly look at my shortlist just to see if there is anyone else that I want. Shortlisted, true, apply. So it's quite long. I mean, there are some people we can get rid of, so she's already with us. Who else? Akira is already with us. Gabe Kidd is already with us. Kenzie is already with us. Kylie. They should just remove them, surely. Like, I don't need to see all this. Yeah, Ray is already with us. Trish is already with us. I think that's everyone. So let's just refilter. Okay, cool. Let's narrow it down by hireable as well, because there we go. Much shorter list. So CJ Perry, maybe. Calvin Tankman, you know that I love Tankman. If you've watched any of my, or not any, my AEW series before, I love a bit of Calvin Tankman. Clark Connors is very impressive. He could be really, really good for us, especially in that cruiserweight division. The same with Drilla Maloney, or Dan Maloney. We'll know him from our LLW series as well. El Fantasmo, ELP. We brought him in the later stages of our AEW series, but I do love a bit of ELP. Jack Morris, I know he kind of feels like a budget Drew McIntyre in his look. We did use him briefly in LLW. He wasn't amazing, but I have seen him wrestle in real life, as in, like, on TV and stuff, and he's really, really good. He could be a good signing down the line, but I've got nothing for him, so he stays here. Jessie McKay, again, I don't know if we'll be bringing her in. I mean, we've got Cassie Lee in. We might just leave it at that for now. But if we ever need a women's tag team, this is a quick win. Bring the Iconics back. Joe Hendry, we've got the agreement with TNA, so we don't need to sign him, but he could be someone that we bring in full-time down the line. Hideo Itami could be fun, although he is getting old. Takeshita's Takeshita. Lizzie Evo, big fan of her. I've seen her live a few times. We love Maki Ito. Matt Cardona, that could be fun. I've got like an idea where we could bring him in later down the line, but I don't know. Megan Bain is just Megan Bay, let's be honest. I'm glad that she's kind of getting TV time in AEW now. That's really exciting. Mike Santana, I've always thought he looked cool, and I'm really enjoying his singles work since kind of separating from Ortiz. Mina Shirakawa, we love Mina. We love Mina. Miro, I mean, Rusev has to come back at some point, surely. Has to. Maybe not right now, but like, do you think we can get him on an NXT deal for now, just so we've got him in? Let's go 2 years. That money's fine. Yep. Promotion, NXT, main event. No, upper mid card. Yeah, and then gimmick. I don't know. We got Beast or something. Athlete, authority figure, broken bars, Beast. Attack angle boost, requires intimidation, requires entertainment. Yeah, he's got that. Does he want to go to NXT? He'll consider it. Okay, that could be fun. Throw him in NXT for a bit. Bring him up whenever. Mustafa Ali, he could be fun. Natalia Markova, I mean, yep. Rebecca Knox is there. I'm surprised AEW haven't already jumped in for her. Oh, that's why. She's on hiatus. Didn't even look at that. Cool. But when she's back, we could bring Becky Lynch back. Rini Yamashita again. LLW series. You know that I love her. Emma could be fun. You never know. We love Yuka Sakazaki. And then, of course, Zilla Fatu. If we ever want to pull that trigger on expanding the already quite large bloodline, then we've got that. I mean, there's also a few others that we can bring in too. And he's been doing really well in real life. And he's got some good old stats. So, who knows? The other shortlisted people, you know, you can pause before and take a look. But there isn't much to... Well, there's a lot to look at. But none of them are available yet. We'll just have to keep an eye on the contract expiry section here for when they do. Do any expire soon from the wanting to sign? Because I think they sit here, don't they? Yeah, so Powerhouse Hobbs, 66 days away. He's someone that I would definitely be interested in. Takeshita, Yuka Sakasaki's already signable. Who's the next signable shortlist person? We might have to scroll for a bit. Mina, yeah. Daniel Garcia, 112 days away. So yeah, so we've got a while before anyone who's locked down that we want to sign is available. Let's tick all of those again. But yeah, sorry, we've gone off track massively. Event histories. So we looked at the Friday, nothing decent was there. Let's take a look at Collision quickly, see what AEW are doing, because they're probably, you know, our biggest competition. So the Vendetta won their match. The Bang Bang Gang won theirs. Jack Perry got the win. Someone who's on, well, these two both on my shortlist. La Faction get the win. Angle 91 from Okada and Darby Allin. Huge trios match here. Jamie Hayter's team getting the win. Again, Tony Storm again for the TBS title and losing again. What are they doing? And then a main event 4-way match. Wow. An 82. And Takeshita getting the win. They really are pushing him, aren't they? And then we had Wrestle Kingdom, which I've already looked at, and it's not good. It's not good. We'll start off with the strong openweight tag team. I'm just going to skim through these. So Yota Tsuji retains. El Phantasmo wins the TV title because I think it was vacant at this point. This is a good result. 81 El Desperado and Shane Haste. I do love a bit of Despy. And then we've got some weird Naito double duty. So he retains the tag team titles against a very odd pairing of Caveman Ugg and Tagaki. And then Goto retains against an obviously tired Naito. But that's not the main event. We keep going. We got the strong openweight title. This was Gabe Kidd, so Jake Lee has now won that. And then the main event is the openweight championship between Takeshita and Tanahashi. And once again, Takeshita gets the win in a 98. So he's being pushed wherever he goes. Anything on the Sunday? Wrestle Dynasty we'll take a quick look at. I haven't looked at this one. But let's take a quick look. I mean, it's got all of these names featured, but I think it's just going to be New Japan. Junior heavyweight, the Ichiban Sweet Boys win. They win again. So that's back-to-back wins. Tsuji as well retains. Phantasmo retains. Desperado retains. Naito and Takahashi retain. Jake Lee retains. Takeshita retains in a 92. And then the main event, we've got double duty, Jake Lee and Naito. But Goto retains. So that's 2 back-to-back losses for Tanahashi. And then finally, before we jump into Raw, let's take a look at main event. Nothing special. So this is basically the dark match before Raw. But we had Roxanne Perez defeat Alba Fire in a 49, and then Gallus debuted. So it was Joe Coffey and Mark Coffey with Wolfgang on the ringside defeating Los Garza by pinfall. Angel from Los Garza was visibly angry that I booked them to lose, but I don't care. So there's that. Okay, that covers everything that you guys would have missed or wanted to see. If you still want to see AEW, New Japan, maybe even TNA results every week, let me know. I'm happy to just run through them like this because it only takes like 5 minutes or so. But if you'd rather me just focus on this, and then maybe after each pay-per-view we jump in and just look at the companies here, and we can just look at titles and stuff, just let me know. But yeah, let's not waste any more time. Let's dive straight into Monday Night Raw. And here we are. We open Monday Night Raw with an entrance from our WWE Intercontinental Champion, Braun Breaker. And I've just realised I've been spelling Braun Breaker's name wrong this entire time. I don't know why, but I've been writing Brecker everywhere. So excuse that. It's going to say Brecker everywhere I've handwritten it, and I need to update that in my spreadsheets. But Braun makes his way to the ring. We are opening the new year on Raw with a Intercontinental title match. Now I'm just going to pretend that there was some background beef between him and Judgment Day. So his opponent for this match is Carlito of the Judgment Day. And in a 2.5-star 70% rating match, Braun Breaker retains in around 15-16 minutes. Of course, there was a lot of interaction from Finn Balor and JD McDonough ringside, but the star power of Braun Breaker added so much to this match. He got a great reaction, riding a wave of momentum. He's got an explosive style, just ticks all the boxes, and he gets a huge jump in popularity here, over a point per region except Asia. But yeah, he was made to look like a threat. You know, Carlito was kind of here just to be decimated in a way. But the experience of Carlito, of course, helped the match. Yeah, decent opening match. We move on. Breaker starts the year with an Intercontinental Championship defense. Post-match, though, of course, there are some Judgment Day shenanigans. Post-match, Braun Breaker is celebrating, but he is blindsided by JD McDonough, who sneaks up on Braun. However, Braun, being the beast that he is, gets the upper hand and throws JD over the top rope, and then hits Carlito with one final spear, as the rest of Judgment Day, aka these two and Finn, make their escape. So Braun, you know, not taking any shit from anyone, hyped up after his defense, taking out Carlito once again and disposing of JD McDonough pretty easily. So yeah, 79 rated segment, not too bad. Of course, being attacked by JD and Carlito isn't going to give you the biggest pop, but chasing them down afterwards is. Following on from this, though, we get a little promotional video very similar to the Shinsuke one that we had last week. We're just showcasing Rhea Ripley, who is our current WWE Women's World Champion, and just noting that she will be returning to Raw next week. So she may not be in action, but she will be at Monday Night Raw next week. Today, she, of course, has the week off. Or the night off, I should say. But that takes us nice and easy into our next match of the night, which is some women's action between Charlotte Flair and Valhalla. And of course, the Queen, Charlotte Flair, wins. She doesn't destroy Valhalla, but there are levels here. And Charlotte Flair is many, many levels above Valhalla. So a 66 rating, 2.5 stars. Of course, Charlotte kind of carried this match because Valhalla's stats are not the best, which is, I think, a little bit unfair, but also I think they haven't booked her very well. But I guess I could start booking her well. Who knows? But Charlotte gets the win, kind of building that momentum. Of course, she must have her eyes on Rhea Ripley's title and quite possibly the Royal Rumble. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Heading backstage, though, Braun Strowman is throwing his weight around, talking about Gunther and how he can't wait to get his hands on him. Ludwig Kaiser kind of hears the murmurings from behind him and just starts laughing and says that everyone underestimates Gunther. Gunther is the greatest champion to ever live, and that Gunther would embarrass him and make him look like the dumb brute that he is. And Ludwig Kaiser kind of just realizes, I'm talking to Braun Strowman right now, aren't I? I probably shouldn't call him dumb. Braun then kind of, gives him a second to realize what he's done, and then Braun smacks Ludwig Kaiser across the head, picks him up, and throws him across the room in like a mini rage. So, Braun is not happy, and I think Ludwig Kaiser has just lit a little extra flame under Braun in his pursuit of Gunther. I'm sure Braun isn't the only person who has eyes on Gunther's World Heavyweight title. With a 75 and then a 91 from Braun attacking Ludwig Kaiser. Following on from this, we go to the ring where Drew McIntyre is in action against the non-Wyatt 6 version of Eric Rowan, because the Wyatt 6 is stupid. And even Drew can't, make this a 5-star match. Sorry, Eric Rowan, you are crap. You are going to be a big man jobber for me. But Drew gets the win here with the Claymore. 1.5-star match quality. It was only 11 minutes long. 75 overall, though. Drew definitely made the most of this. Although apparently Eric Rowan's got some momentum right now. That might be pre-programmed because of the Wyatt 6 debut, and I've just ripped that away from him. But Drew McIntyre gets the win, looking nice and strong. Post-match, though, Drew McIntyre picks up Rowan and throws him over the top rope. There seems to be a theme here, doesn't there? He grabs a mic from someone at the side and says, "Did you see that? That was light work and that's a big man that I just threw over the rope." That is exactly what is going to happen to 29 other men at the Royal Rumble. I hope that you're watching, Gunther, because I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to face you and take that belt away. So 95 rated segment here. Eric Rowan obviously being attacked by Drew post-match, and then Drew cutting the promo on Gunther. But we go to an advert break, and then we come back to see Damage Control making their way to the ring. Asuka, Dakota Kai, Io Sky, and Kairi Sane, as Asuka and Kairi Sane are in tag team action next. And they are facing the Pure Fusion Collective, or as I've decided to call them, Pure Fusion, because it's not really a collective when there's only 2 of them now. R.I.P. Sonya Deville. I nearly said her real name because I'm so used to seeing their real names, I kind of forget what their actual wrestler names are. But a decent match. 73. I think that's match of the night. Hold on. Oh no, 75 Drew, and 70 Bron Breakker Carlito. Okay, so the second highest rated match of the night. 73 from this one. Really good work from Asuka and Kairi Sane. Zoe Stark apparently is really good in tag team situations, so that's good to know. And of course, Asuka and Kairi have really good chemistry as a team. And then having Dakota Kai and Io Sky ringside always helps. 3.5 stars, 73. Can't complain. Post-match, all 4 members of Damage Control are celebrating together as Io Sky has a mic in hand and says, "Rhea Ripley, we will see you next week," as Damage Control's music continues to play. So it seems like Damage Control as a whole have their eyes set on Rhea Ripley, and I assume her world title. We now head backstage as Damage Control clear the ring with a promo from Randy Orton, who just makes his intentions clear of what he wants from Royal Rumble and beyond. And he says before his main event match that he states he will be the 2025 Royal Rumble winner and go on to be in the main event where he belongs and be a champion again, exactly where he belongs. Punk walks into frame, kind of, laughing, and says, "You sure about that, Randy? Are you sure about that?" Orton kind of scoffs and says, "I am, Punk. I'll be heading back to the main event of WrestleMania. Somewhere that you haven't been." Punk then is like, "Oh," Like the crowd are going, oh. He bites his tongue, takes a breath, and just says, okay, well, best of luck in your main event tonight. As he kind of pats Orton on the shoulder and walks out of frame as Randy Orton, you know, puts his sleeveless jacket on and heads out to the ring. While he's doing that, we have a little advert break, and the announcers are putting over that next week we will have Bron Breakker versus JD McDonough. And to spice things up, because Bron Breakker is a fighting champion, he will put his Intercontinental Championship on the line. So JD McDonough somehow has managed to get himself a title shot. So well done, JD, I guess. But this now transitions into our main event. It is Randy Orton versus Jimmy Uso in singles action. Let's see how that goes down. 78. Okay, not the best, but Randy Orton gets the win in a just over 20-minute match. Randy Orton's star power added to the match. Jimmy Uso had a performance because of his gimmick. He puts in a huge effort. Just a plus 0.1 from Randy Orton and a minus 0.1 from Jimmy. So not much change here. But obviously working with Randy helps everyone. So yeah, an 89 crowd reaction. They loved it. The quality wasn't the best. What was the rating of the quality? 63. But a 78 overall. So that's not too bad. And that is how we end this first week of Raw. A slow burner of a show. But trust me, things are cooking. And remember, this is a show without Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, kind of a cameo from Punk, no Roman Reigns. There's a lot to come from Raw. It's just trying to fit them all on. But yeah, let's end the show and see the final score. Final score of 77. We'll take that. It seems that 77 seems to be our kind of minimum we should be getting. So yeah, we need to up that for next week. But to be fair, it was a lot of squash match, kind of a squash match, I guess, and then what I thought would be a decent main event, and you know, having Jimmy lose rather than anyone else who I've kind of got plans for. So yeah, next week hopefully it'll be a bit better. Smackdown is a lot more focused right now. I've put a little bit more time into Smackdown stories, so I think Raw needs to be given the time of day as well. But we've got the increase from Europe, Asia, Oceania and Africa, so I'll take that. Let's end the show and see if we get any interesting notes or anything. One thing I am going to do, though, that we didn't do at the end of the last one, was obviously move through the calendar to our next show. So obviously next show is 3 days away. We should have really gone through the AEW and New Japan stuff in the last episode. But we'll do that this one, and we'll get to see what NXT do. So summary of Raw, we made a bunch of money, and yeah, we made over 1 million in ticket sales. So that's pretty baller. No other news. Let's move on. Let's get to Friday, and then we'll look through the calendar of any of the other events. 2 more mail notifications. Miro accepts our NXT offer. Well, have fun in NXT. And then Megan Bain is now working with Revolver. That's fine. So yeah, Miro is now in NXT. Oh, that's fun. I'm tempted to get them to push him. Agreement's probably worth over 5 figures per month. Oh yeah, how much was it? Oh, grow up. It's only 15k per month. Let's actually go to developmental, the settings. Let's make this. Actually, let's change Miro back to Rusev. Miro. Oh, bloody hell. That's a jump scare, isn't it? Let's go here, and let's go Rusev. Change name. What pictures does he have? Okay, we can't change pictures here. It's 40, bulky. We can't change his gimmick or anything here either, which I think is a little bit sad. Although we just chose it, didn't we? Don't worry. And then let's go Rusev. Let's see if that will do anything. But yeah, let's keep going. We're on Thursday. Let's get to Friday. And then we will look in the calendar and see what events we can look at. So Smackdown is tonight, book event. Let's look at the news. Lizzie Evo's gone on tour. Megan Bain's gone on tour. ROW have renewed Zilla's contract. Fine. Okay, so we were at Monday Night Raw, which is here. Anything else happen on Monday we care about? No. Tuesday, we have got NXT. Let's see what happened on NXT. Let's see what the AI is booking for us. So an angle involving these guys. That's cool. Another angle. Any matches? A 3-way match, and Uncle Howdy gets the win against Lance Anoa'i and Edris Enofe. Interesting. I should have changed him to Bo and then sent him down, but hey ho. Gabe Kidd was involved there, which is cool to see. And then Josh Briggs and Yoshiki Inamura defeated Uriah Connors and Kale Dixon. And then we had a big old 6-woman tag. Nikki Cross, Carmen Petrovic, and Stephanie Vaquer teaming up against Jada Parker, Ariana Grace, and Thea Hale. Cool, 56. And then the main event was Ricky Saints against Omos. And Ricky Saints gets the win. I actually had an idea to bring Ricky Saints up and have Omos as like his enforcer. So it's kind of weird that they've booked that. But I guess, I mean, we wanted Stephanie Vaquer to win. She was on the winning team. And that's the only person so far. So we'll have to keep an eye on NXT and see what they do next. Let's take a look at Dynamite quickly. Angle, no one cares about the angles. Okay, the Vendetta win again against another different team. Camille looks very different from her NWA days already. So does Tay Mello. She's had a change. Again, Mercedes Moné against Toni Storm. Is this the only thing they can book? So Mercedes Moné is now 3-0 against Toni Storm. Carl Fletcher defeats Daniel Garcia. This is a random 5-way match, including MVP. Kenny Omega gets the winner, 96. Nick Jackson defeats Kyle O'Reilly. And then in the main event, Takeshita beats Bryan Danielson in a 100. A 100. I mean, that would be a 100, wouldn't it? Damn. AEW are not holding anything back. And then let's quickly just look at TNA as well. Matt Hardy, so the Hardys get the win against the Good Hands. JDC defeats Jonathan Gresham. Eddie Edwards gets the win here, so the System picking up a win. Another angle there. Masha gets the win. Of course, Masha will get the win. She's a beast. And then Nick Nemeth in the main event at 64 against Eric Young. Cool. I believe that covers everything. If anyone wants other promotions looked at, let me know. But I think I'm just going to stick with, you know, AEW, WWE, obviously WWE, NXT, the odd New Japan, the odd TNA. Cool. That is the end of this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please give me feedback on whether you want that stuff to be looked at every time or we just recap it another time. But we are moving swiftly on to SmackDown in the next one. Oh, no, let's end it the exact same way we did last time. Where is Raw? Here we go. In the main event. I mean, it's not the most exciting main event, is it? I'm sorry. It will be better next week. But yeah, that's it from me. Thank you very much. Always appreciated. Please like, comment, subscribe. Do it all. And I will see each and every one of you in the next one.